At my husband's funeral, my son Ethan climbed up to the mic, voice cracking, and gave a shout-out to another woman, calling her our true family. Every head in the room swiveled to Carla Bennett, front and center in a tailored dress, makeup on point, tears perfectly staged. Me? Sarah, the real wife and mom? I was stuck off to the side when the lawyer later dropped the news that my husband had left everything to Carla, not a dime for me. She wrapped Ethan in a hug, flashing a smug grin like she'd already cashed the check. Then I pulled out the second will, and the room went stone-cold silent. Never thought my life would kick off fresh at a funeral. James died in a split-second crash downtown, skidding through a rainstorm. Faulty brakes, slammed into a strip mall. Gone before he hit the ground. Doc swore he didn't feel a thing, but I wasn't sure he earned that easy exit. We'd been married 40 years. Not a rom-com, but sturdy, like an old farmhouse, beat up outside but still holding. I gave up my job to keep our home humming. "I've got you, no need to work," he'd say. I bought it, thinking it was love. What a chump. At the memorial, I wore his favorite navy blazer, shaking hands at the church door despite the icy wind. Fingers frozen, I kept a smile plastered on, making sure James's send-off was polished. He was obsessed with looking good to the world, and even dead, I was playing that part. Ethan, our only kid, 33, a software developer, stood at the podium in a sharp suit, voice steady. After a speech about his dad, he paused, eyes wet. "I need to thank someone special," he said. The room hushed. My hands clenched my purse, nails digging in, waiting for Mom. 40 years of devotion, cooking, late-night ER runs, quiet sacrifices. I thought he'd finally see me. Instead, his words ripped me apart. Miss Carla Bennett, who held Dad up through his darkest days. A buzz ran through the crowd. Carla stood, dabbing her eyes, in a sleek burgundy coat and heels, makeup flawless. People around her whispered, curious. My ears screamed like a bomb had gone off. Carla, James's assistant, later his senior consultant. He'd always waved off my questions. "She's just good at her job. Don't get weird." I remembered her at a company gala, handing me a drink with a fake smile. I pegged her as a climber. Now? What a laugh. Someone muttered, "She's acting like she's family." Then Ethan leaned to Carla and said, "You're the real family." My coffee mug nearly hit the floor. This wasn't James's funeral, it was a showcase for a secret life I'd been cut out of. I was a ghost in my own story. Folks shook my hand, mumbling, "Great guy, we'll miss him." I nodded on autopilot, clinging to dignity. That night, alone in our quiet living room, I shed the blazer. Its hem was frayed, like the last thread of my marriage had unraveled. James's chair sat empty at the table, armrest cold. His IPA cans still lined the fridge, bitter, like him, stocked weekly just for himself. Habits are a brutal cage. Sleepless, I dug through old photo albums. Us young, James's eyes alive, my smile free. Found my old ID from his firm, where I'd been a financial analyst, always third chair at board meetings. Then he said, "Quit. I'll take care of it." I listened like a fool. Staring at the kitchen clock, I realized all my effort to hold us together was buried with him. But the real knife was still coming. Next day, at the lawyer's office, every word felt like a scene from someone else's movie. The air smelled of paper and old wood. A faded Bill of Rights print hung crooked, sunlight cutting the floor into slats. The lawyer, a 50-something guy with a heavy drawl, read James's will from 3 years back. The estate, Riverside House, Cape Cod condo, bank accounts, goes to Miss Carla Bennett. I wasn't just stunned, I was erased, shoved off my own life stage. Ethan sat rigid, hands folded, like he was at a budget meeting. No shock, no twitch, he knew. "You knew," I hissed, voice shaking. He met my eyes, cool as ice. Dad had his reasons. Reasons? I choked. What was 40 years worth? He paused, then said, he worked his ass off. Carla got him. You didn't. It wasn't just losing James, my own son was redrawing our family, wiping me out. Home, I stood in the driveway, purse heavy. Opened James's closet, his shirts, ties, that cedar cologne smell. When did he decide I wasn't family? That anniversary I forgot his favorite bourbon? Or when I quit to play housewife? I tore through drawers, ledgers, receipts, business cards. In the kitchen, I found a folder, a letter from Cape Cod Property Management, addressed to Carla, 6 years ago. I'd been to that condo, clueless I was a visitor in her world. I dropped by Ellen, our 70-something neighbor with a steel trap memory and a tulip garden. Mentioned Carla, and her face tightened. Wasn't she the one James took to those jazz shows? She asked. You didn't go? My throat dried. Not my thing. Ellen shifted. Thought they were together. She was here a bunch, helped with the holiday lights one year. I froze. That Christmas, I was down with a bad hip, James said a neighbor's kid helped. When'd they start? I asked. 10, maybe 15 years back, Ellen said. Saw her when you were with your mom. 15 years. I'd juggled our finances, picked his slippers, used my folks' savings to save his firm. All while he built her a future. In the basement, I found a box of photos. James and Carla at a company event, his hand on her arm, grinning brighter than with me. Another with Ethan, 18 or 19, smiling awkwardly. One photo had a corner blacked out. I erased it, our real family, soon official. Trust didn't just break, it vaporized. That night, I lit a candle, played blues, slow, raw. I'd moved to James's rhythm for years. No more. My beat now. Thought the will was the worst, Carla stealing the spotlight, labeled family. But Ethan crushed me. We met at our old diner, where he'd scarf milkshakes as a kid. He showed up stiff, trench coat, phone face down, ready to bail. Why'd you send Carla a legal notice? He snapped. Shouldn't I have? I fired back. He shrugged. She didn't do anything. Dad chose her. Chose her? I barked. I quit my job, my life, sold Grandma's sapphire ring for your tuition. You know what that meant? He sighed, annoyed. You always act like I owe you. A cold chasm opened. Dad said his best years were with Carla, he added. She got him. You were always on his case. I was on him because he stopped giving a damn about me, I shot back. He shook his head. You're too old-fashioned, Mom. Sacrifices aren't love. Dad didn't want that. It hit, he'd bought this story ages ago. Pulled out a faded photo, Ethan, too, in blue swim trunks, tiny footprints in sand. You were scared of waves, clung to me yelling mommy. You knew who kept you safe. I built the foundation for your dad's polished life. He glanced, no tears. Dad chased what made him happy. Carla made him feel wanted. You were too tough. Too tough, after paying bills sick, smiling through James's cold shoulders. I pocketed the photo, stood. Guess I was. That toughness is mine now. Walked out to rain, his voice fading. Sat in my car, hands on the wheel, not braking, just done letting others define me. Thought Carla was a late-life fling, a gold digger. Nope. She'd played the long game. Rainy afternoon, cold coffee, I checked her public Facebook. Profile pic, her on a beach, coy smile, background blurred to hide the truth. Bio, consultant, jazz lover, blessed with sweet company. Photos, James with her peach cobbler, 6 years back, when I was laid up and he claimed client meetings. Him in her living room, my gift jacket on. Tending her garden. A video, James toasting her, holiday tunes, Ethan there, college-aged, her arm around him. Your dad's proud, she laughed. She hadn't just stolen James, she'd hijacked our family, plotting to erase me. Called Lisa, my old firm colleague, semi-retired but razor-sharp. Sarah, heard about James, she said. Need me? I think James funneled company cash to Carla, properties, transfers, I said. That's not marriage repair, Lisa replied. That's fraud. I want the truth. Met her in 2 days at her beige ranch house, daisies drooping out front. She handed me iced tea, opened her laptop. 3 consulting payments to a shell company, no address. One for $60,000 when you were post-op. My gut twisted. Keep digging, she asked. I nodded, saved the files. Driving home, sun blinding, a 70s soul tune played, truth hits when you quit pretending. I quit. Saved Carla's Facebook pics to a folder, proof. No more hiding behind dishes. I was Sarah Thompson, wife, mother, erased but rewriting the story. Lisa's next email landed as I wiped the counter, sunlight striping it like my marriage, neat, silent, not mine. Subject, 3 shady transfers. PDFs showed Vista Consulting LLC, linked to Carla, $400,000 over 5 years, time to skip audits. Lisa's note, fraudulent gifts, no invoices. Evidence. Resolve hardened. Called Karen Walsh, a tough-as-nails fraud lawyer. James siphoned company funds for his mistress, I said. Send it all the docs, emails, photos, she replied. I compiled 60-plus files, printed them, drove to her sleek Boston office. Harbor View, her crisp suit screamed no BS. She skimmed, nodded. We'll handle it. I'll call. She betrayed me, and Ethan backed her, I said. I want every penny back. Months flew, meetings, emails, legal fights. Sued Carla, the case exploded. James's firm, estate, all caught up. Ethan took her side, livid. You're ruining Dad's legacy, he said. Your dad's a myth, I snapped. A crook who screwed us over. He hung up, didn't call back. It hurt, but I kept going. Court day, Carla's team claimed consulting fees, flashed fake invoices. We had Lisa's records, Facebook proof. I took the stand, spilled 40 years, love, sacrifices, pain. The judge, a 60-something Latina, got it. Ruled for us. Carla repaid $1.2 million, sold her stolen properties, lost her job, reputation. Gone. Ethan cut me off for years. After my mom's funeral, he called. We met, hugged, started over. I laid it all out. He got it, apologized. I clung to a lie, he said. I held him. I never stopped believing in you. At the reception, he grinned. Mom, when'd you get so good at speeches? Always was, I smirked. You just missed it. We laughed, crowd too. Later, by the cherry tree I'd planted 20 years ago, I said, almost lost it last year. Nearly chopped it down. This spring, it bloomed like crazy. A friend laughed. Even it knew not to quit on what's alive. That night, alone, I stacked chairs, tucked them away. Wind chimes hummed. Sunset burned over the oak tree, asking, who are you? Barefoot, I walked inside, hung my dress, hit the bed. I knew, survivor, fighter, free.